Welcome to Days at Dogwood Canyon, a nature podcast brought to you by Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center in Cedar Hill, Texas. This is a podcast that will take you into our 200-acre wildlife preserve in the heart of the DFW Metroplex. Take a quick weekly break with us and get outside with the fresh air, the trees, and of course, the birds. My name is Kirsten and I'm Center Coordinator of Community Programs here at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center. Welcome, listeners, to our Days at Dogwood Canyon podcast. This is a podcast about nature, birds, plants, and us. We will talk about how we all rely on each other to live our best lives. We have come around to that time of year in the United States again, the Thanksgiving season. In relation to birds, this season is always associated with turkeys. So I thought, why not catch up on how our wild turkey population is doing in North America? And just my luck, there was a great article in the fall 2025 edition of Audubon magazine to help me out. Did you know that in the 1930s, the wild turkey almost went extinct in the United States? The state of Massachusetts actually put it in the same group as the now extinct passenger pigeon and the great auk. They thought it was gone from the state forever. Thankfully, they were wrong. They just hadn't been seen in a while. When we gave these resilient birds a chance, they bounced back. Hunting regulations and land management gave these birds the chance they needed. In the 1960s, their populations had expanded enough to reintroduce some of them into forested areas where they had disappeared. By the 2000s, they were well on their way to exceeding conservationists' expectations. There are 5 subspecies of wild turkey found in North America, but the eastern variety is the most abundant. Now, we are glad to have wild turkeys of any subspecies back, but they aren't hanging around in the same habitat as they were before. Wild turkeys have become urban and suburban animals. We never thought they would be this flexible with their habitat needs, but they have taken to suburban life quite well. Researchers have recently found increased numbers in suburban areas, while numbers in rural areas are once again struggling. Rural areas in Georgia and Iowa have seen declines, while states like New York have seen increases, and we don't know why. So what are the first steps to see what's going on? Research studies. We need to get a better judge of adult population, nesting success, overall mortalities, and flock movements. In the 1990s, many states had not done extensive turkey research. It didn't seem necessary based on previous increases in populations, and many states couldn't afford the expense. Studying turkeys isn't easy. So what these states relied on were the number of turkeys hunters were bagging each season. Then they used those numbers to determine the amount the hunters would be allowed to hunt the following year. These numbers are used to keep populations stable, but if the math is flawed, then turkeys cannot survive. So modern research can employ better technology to get a more accurate count of our wild turkey neighbors. GPS transmitters to follow the adults, automated trail cameras to snap their pictures when they pass by, and automated recording units that capture turkey calls are all being utilized for today's research. Genetic studies are also being employed by scientists, and they have shown us something about turkeys we never knew. Michael Chamberlain, who runs the Wild Turkey Lab at the University of Georgia, says, in regard to the genetic testing results, quote, "We are finding that the ways turkeys function is much more complex than we thought." End quote. One of those complexities turns out to be super hens. It seems that in a flock, not all the females lay eggs. Just a small group of super hens are the ones that are laying fertilized eggs and raising the young. We don't really know why yet, but this tells us that our population math could be off. If you count every female in a flock as a bird that will produce and raise anywhere from 8 to 20 chicks a year, then we have greatly overestimated the potential populations based on the findings of these new genetic studies. In a 2022 study based in Oklahoma, where population numbers have been declining, Oklahoma State University points to 2 concerns that may be impacting turkey populations. One is high hen mortality, while the other is fewer poults, that's what you call a baby turkey, per hen. Their next step is to try and understand what is causing this trend. There could be many causes for this decline. One example is the change in vegetation in historic turkey habitats. With less native shrubbery for poults and hens on nests in which to camouflage themselves, natural predators such as coyotes, foxes, and eagles can more easily and successfully hunt them. To protect the future of wild turkeys, we will need to better manage the threats, whether that be land management or reassessment of bag limits for hunters. Most likely, both. Many states are on board with this plan, but determining the best course of action can be difficult because these flocks do not travel far and they may each encounter slightly different challenges. Each state needs to dedicate time and money to conducting studies within their own borders, and some states throughout multiple regions within their state. Now, earlier you may remember I said that wild turkeys have become suburban residents. Let's revisit that. We do know that wild turkeys are resilient. They are great at finding resources when they are scarce because they have a flexible diet and can use a wide range of habitats. We just never suspected that they would be so comfortable slipping into human living spaces. Across the East Coast, wild turkeys have taken advantage of the mecca of resources that suburban neighborhoods and small towns have become. We feed the wildlife, we provide safe predator-free yards to raise young poults, and we offer year-round water. What more could a turkey ask for? I think it's great that these animals have adjusted to living in a changing world. They're doing their best to survive, and I applaud that. Isn't that what we all try to do every day? While many people share my view, not everyone is on board with this new development. Wild turkeys are large birds, and that means they leave behind large poops. When they are raising young, they will aggressively protect their mates and poults, and they need a lot of food. So your garden looks like a great place to find everything they need. So we need to be a little flexible in our changing world too. What can we do to live in harmony with our new neighbors? This fabulous article lays out a few tips on how to get along with wild turkeys. If you find yourself in the crosshairs of a wild turkey, what should you do? Start off with one question that will determine your next course of action. Is the turkey in front of you right now? Yes. Is it close to you and staring you down? Yes. Can you get inside a car or building? Yes. Do that. And wait and watch until the turkey passes you by. If you say no to the first question, maybe it's down the block or around town, give the turkey some space and they will give you space. A little respect from our side of the fence goes a long way. Remember, they're just trying to do the best for their family, just like you are. They don't mean us harm intentionally, unless, of course, they see us as a threat. Okay, what should you do if you can't get into a car or building? Do you have something that can scare them away? A hose? An umbrella? Are you wearing a coat? Use those items. Spray the turkey. Open the umbrella in front of you. Flap your coat and make yourself look big and scary. Don't approach the turkey, but let them see you as a scary obstacle they want to steer clear of. We want our wild neighbors to stay wild. Another question you want to ask yourself if you find that wild turkeys are always visiting your house, yard, or neighborhood is, what am I doing that might be attracting them? Are you feeding the wildlife or the feral cats in your backyard? Stop. By offering this resource, the turkeys are attracted to your space. Are the male turkeys constantly attacking your car or shiny objects? Consider covering your car with a car cover. The reflection of itself is what that turkey is trying to attack. It doesn't know that it's just a reflection. They see it as a rival. If they're invading your garden, fence it off. You will have to do a little outside of the box thinking on this one, for turkeys can fly, but employing something like a motion-activated sprinkler might be a good option. As a very last resort, if the turkey just can't take the hint, call a local wildlife official and explain to them what is going on. They can usually help by removing the turkey and reintroducing them into a less human-populated area. Turkeys have been around for a long time, and they are a marvel at adapting to a changing world. So as our populations grow and their populations grow, we need to help each other be good neighbors to ensure a successful and stress-free future for us both.